Always when I want to do a video. Always. Hello, welcome to Shad Life. How's that for an intro? An airplane flying over when I want to do a video. Surprising. Today I'm gonna go out and ride my new wolf tooth dropper post. Resolve dropper post to be more specific, but they only make one model, so it's a sweet post. It's the first high-end dropper post that I've ever had. Most of them are mid-range, P&W, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go out and ride this, but before I go out and ride it, I want to show you a little bit about dropper post setup, since I have an opportunity here, and how you should set it up for riding. I mentioned it a little bit in my other two videos about this dropper post, but here I'm going to actually show you. Okay, so I have the seat in a low position right now. So why do I want to talk about this? I want to talk about your setup. How much travel does it have is really going to depend on how much you can get in the frame. I actually raised it, and you can see a little bit that I did, because you can see some of that tie prep. I had to raise it a little bit to get it in the ideal spot. So what I mean by that is when the post is in its upper position, you want it in that ideal pedaling spot, ideal leg extension. I'll show you that. So right here, go all the way up in the upper position, get my pedal all the way down. I hear another airplane coming. So this is, for me, my ideal leg extension. I don't like my leg too straight. You don't want it too straight. You want your heel and foot parallel to the ground. You don't want to be like this or like this. You want it parallel. And that's a nice, comfortable position. I could go a tiny bit higher, but this is where I like it. And then I can drop it down and put up. So in order to drop a dropper post down, you sit on it and it drops down. Then you can stand up and do your technical stuff. To bring it up, you just push it up. And so the reason you want to have it set so when it's in that top position, it's in the ideal leg extension position, is because you don't want to be having to like be riding and try to, you know, infinitely figure out where it should be, because you can infinitely adjust this. You just push the lever and it goes right in that ideal top position. That's how you want it set up. There you go. All right, let's hit the trail. Here's a familiar place. Sweet. And here's a reason to use my new wolf tooth dropper. This little technical section right here. Nice. Sweet. I actually noticed a difference having a 160 mil dropper versus the other ones I've had, which I think most of them were 125. It's kind of nice to have the seat down and that much further out of the way. So you might be asking yourself, well, how much dropper do I need, right? Well, that really depends. The biggest factor is going to be how tall are you. And just like everything else out there, like suspension and all that stuff, People tend to just want the most possible, the biggest possible. I don't know why that is, but people just think the bigger the better. It's not the case. You want the correct thing for both your size, your weight, you know, when it comes to suspension, what kind of riding you're doing, all that stuff, right? So when it comes to dropper posts, how much travel you need is based a lot on how tall you are, how long your legs are, because hopefully you got the right size bike and right size frame, right? So if you did, you're going to be limited to a shorter dropper travel, which is fine because you are shorter, likely, because that's why you ride a smaller frame. So it all kind of fits. So I'm not super tall. I'm only 5'7", and I ride a size small frame. So 160 millimeter dropper is quite a bit, like more than enough for me. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to get 200 millimeters or whatever, which would be impossible because my frame wouldn't accommodate it. And as I explained at the beginning of the video, you want the top height of your dropper to be at your ideal leg extension. So you got to figure all that out before you buy a dropper. So one thing that I do like about the wolf tooth dropper is that they offer spacers and they will adjust the travel for you. So if the post is a little too long, you can adjust the travel. I mentioned that in one of the videos, I think the first one I did, the unboxing video, but it makes it super cool because if you I got a leaf stuck in here, and of course you're hearing it, I'm sure. So I'm gonna get that leaf out. So that way, if the post is just a little too long at the top and it's all the way down in your frame as far as it'll go, then you can get the little travel adjustment spacers and make it so it doesn't go up as high in its max position. That's pretty slick. And I don't know if any other dropper post does that, to be honest, but the wolf tooth one does. Okay, so with all that being said, how does this thing work? So I'm gonna preface this to say that I've used a good number of droppers and they've all functioned very well and they've all been pretty reliable. I have one that leaks air over the course of like 6 months, and so I have to take the seat off and put air in it when I notice it getting kind of slow. Aside from that, I've never had really any issues with dropper post. So initial impression of the wolf tooth, aside from its just amazing quality, is it works really smooth. And it's interesting because when I push the lever and go down, I don't feel, it doesn't feel rough, and that's kind of funny to say, but my other post, when I'm sitting on it and I push the lever in and it goes down, I actually can feel like a little bit of friction and stuff there. This post, there is none. None at all. I got a feature coming up here, so we'll get back to this. Leaves make everything slippery. Yeah, the grippiest tires in the world. And if there's leaves on something, it isn't gonna matter. Squirrel. So, this dropper post is super smooth. Like dropping it, it's amazing. I wouldn't think I would notice a difference, but I do. And having it come back up, it comes up really fast, almost scary fast. So definitely don't want to be hovering over it and have it like tag me in parts I don't want to be tagged by my seat on its way up. But that's plenty easy, because if I'm standing up normally, it won't do that. So the other option is to bring a dropper post up. You can literally like sit on it, push in the lever, and then slowly stand up and let it come up that way if you're worried about smacking certain parts of your body with your seat. So there's different ways to use them. I'm generally standing doing something technical, and then I push the lever and it shoots up, and then I sit down. So super smooth, like the best actuating dropper. And on top of that, the lever action is really easy and smooth too. So it's all like just so much better quality. Here's another place to drop the seat. A rock armor down here. And then coming into these berms, just leave it down. Nice. Just out of the way so I can do my thing. So here is why I want my dropper post to be in the max leg extension, because there's a bunch of climbing here, and having that max extension gives me all the power I need for climbing the hill. Whew. Some fun burns. I talked about why you need a dropper for this stuff. Watch the leaves, stay out of those things. Oh, they're getting bumpy. Oh, wow. Fun. Fun. Okay, here I am. It is getting windy out. You can hear the wind. There is the Wolf Tooth dropper. And it is awesome. It's smooth, it actuates super quick with the Wolf Tooth lever. The lever action is super smooth. Like, everything about this post is awesome. I've never thought that much about like how good a dropper is until now, and then I realized that they can be so much better than just your typical P&W, SDG, all these other brands out there. There are some other higher end dropper posts out there. I know Fox makes one and some others, and I have never tried those, so those are probably really nice too. I don't know, but I do know this Wolf Tooth dropper is top notch and probably could be the nicest dropper on the market right now. Just saying. Anyway, I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. I am going to finish my ride on my titanium Esker Hayduke, and I'm really glad I put this post on this bike because this bike is super awesome. Like, by far my favorite bike in my stable right now.